Hey yo, what's up everybody? It's Ryan Miller, the creator of GST, checking in with today's YQMA episode. We're on episode number 16 today, and today we have a question about creatine, weight gain associated with creatine, and creatine non-respondence. Today's question comes from a competition prep client of mine who's currently in her off season training for big strength and big muscle gains. Her name is Claire Olivia, and she recently started taking creatine. She mentioned this to me this morning during her nutrition check-in, her weekly check-in, and I noticed that she gained 1 to 2 pounds, and she noticed that too, and so she made sure to tell me that she recently started taking her creatine monohydrate, and I went on to tell her that it's normal for people to gain 1 to 2 pounds, even 1 to 3 pounds of water weight during that initial phase of creatine supplementation right away in the beginning. Now the reason for this is because creatine volumizes your muscle cells. It draws water into your muscle cells. It's not that it draws water into your skin or into your stomach to make you bloated, which a lot of people claim that they get bloated from creatine and they get a watery, softer look. Now this isn't actually what creatine does. That's actually a myth. Creatine draws water into the muscle, so it's intramuscular hydration or intramuscular water weight gain. That is a good thing. A hydrated muscle is a well-functioning and a healthy muscle. So you need to keep that in mind, and this just helps point to the fact that creatine monohydrate is a supplement that you should be taking. There's really very few situations where creatine monohydrate supplementation is actually a bad idea. So whether you're a male, a female, whether you're in contest prep mode or off-season mode, creatine monohydrate is a positive supplement for you. I'd like to touch on the dosage amount of creatine monohydrate. Generally, the container that you buy of creatine monohydrate is going to recommend a 1 to 2 week loading phase. During that phase, you're going to see an increased daily dosage, and the point of this is to saturate your muscle cells with creatine. Now, this is believed to be unnecessary. I personally don't recommend the loading phase. I just recommend starting with the base dosage of 3 to 5 grams per day. This can be taken any time of the day because creatine is a stored substance in the body and it gets called into use when it's needed. So it's not like you have to take it pre-workout for it to have its effect. That you need to realize that. You can take your creatine any time of the day. Personally, for me, I do take it pre-workout, and I do that just because it reminds me to take it. It's just part of the pre-workout ritual for me, and it's what I prefer. But the point is that you don't have to take it pre-workout. Take it any time of the day. Just make sure that you get it in daily. As far as the mythical non-responder goes, now there is a logical reason for everything, and there's a logical reason for people saying that they're creatine non-responders. In order to understand why a person may be a non-responder, we have to understand that creatine stores in the body can become saturated. So you can't throw an unlimited amount of creatine into your body and expect your body to store every little gram that you pop in there. It's not going to work like that. So your creatine stores can become saturated, they can become full, and at that point you can't hold any more creatine. This is a key concept to understand because creatine supplementation doesn't just come from that container of raw bulk creatine monohydrate that you're scooping out of. Creatine is present in certain foods, particularly meats, red meats. Now, if you're a large meat eater, particularly a red meat eater, you're actually supplementing with creatine to some degree already. Now, your creatine stores could be saturated based on your creatine intake through food. So when you take your supplemented creatine initially, if you're already pre-saturated through food intake, you're not going to be seeing that initial weight gain, or you're not going to be seeing any other strength gain benefits of that creatine because you're already taking it. At this point, you're basically just supplementing creatine from a container on top of your creatine intake that you're already getting from your food. So what's going to happen is you're going to be a non-responder because your creatine stores are going to be close to saturation or already pre-saturated. And so any extra creatine supplementation from the container or from that bulk creatine powder is going to be worthless. You're not going to store it. It's going to go in you and out of you. So at that point, you could consider yourself a creatine non-responder just because you're not seeing that initial benefit, but you're still responsive to creatine because you're using the creatine that you're getting from food. Now, one could argue that even though you are a big red meat eater and you already are consuming creatine on a regular basis through food, it's still smart to supplement with creatine monohydrate. It's a cheap supplement. This is going to just ensure that your stores are always saturated. And if you'd like, just supplement with a little less. Supplement with 1 to 3 grams per day, any time of the day, every day. And that's just safeguarding yourself. Let's say you go through a period where your creatine consumption through food does decrease. Supplementing on top of that with bulk creatine monohydrate powder just safeguards and keeps those stores saturated no matter what you eat. All right, Claire, I talked about creatine intake, its impact on bodily weight gain. That's positive weight gain through intramuscular hydration, intramuscular water weight. And you really have nothing to worry about when you gain those initial couple pounds from your start of creatine supplementation. Take it as a positive. Take it as the fact that the creatine is actually helping your muscles stay stronger and healthier. And don't be afraid to gain those couple of extra pounds on the scale. It's all part of the process. And since right now you're training for muscle growth and off-season strength gains, the weight that you've gained from creatine is certainly a positive point, and you should just embrace it and keep that creatine supplementation going. All right, guys, it's time for me to check out. It is Sunday morning. This is a video that I wanted to get out yesterday, but I had a family obligation. I had a baby shower for my sister. She's having her first baby boy coming up in the next couple months. And after that, me and my family, we did a little bit of shopping and hit this fantastic Mexican restaurant that Jess and I used to go to back in college. We went on a date there and we couldn't pass it up just because we're not in that town where we went to college too often. We took our kids there and had a great meal last night, and there was just too much family stuff going on for yesterday's YQMA. So I'm making it up today, staying on track, and I want you guys to have a great rest of the Sunday. Get your lift in, stay strong with your nutrition, and I will see you tomorrow for some more GST YQMA. Thank you again for watching.